Alright, so what's up guys, it's Trey here. I know you're wondering, Trey, what's on your wrist? It's actually a brace because as you guys saw not a couple of videos ago, but some videos ago, I have a boxing bag down in my basement, so I used the boxing bag to get some bag work in, just a little bit of cardio. And I wasn't wearing gloves, wasn't wearing any wraps or anything. I was just like, I'm just gonna hit this as hard as possible without any wraps. I hit the bag really hard, and my wrist just sort of folded a bit. So I'm wearing this because my wrist really hurts. So that's why I'm wearing this. But that's not the reason you guys are here. You guys are here for the story time video that I have. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I've made a story time video once before, but this is the start of a brand new series on the channel. This one's gonna be up to you guys, so leave comments down below in the comment section for titles for this new series. This is gonna be the first video of that new series. I'm going to listen to some of your ideas, and I'm gonna let you guys really, choose what's going on. And by the way, the reason I'm wearing my beanie is because I sort of forgot where my hat is. Well, I didn't forget, but it's a long story. I have no idea where my hat is, long story short. So, yeah, that's why I'm wearing this beanie. It's really comfortable, actually. These aren't on the Trade Dangerous merchandise store, but I mean, I might make some in the future, so look out for that. But let's get started. And the story I'm telling you today is about my time living in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, a lot of you guys, well, some of you guys might not know this, but I used to live in Memphis, Tennessee. It was actually very fun. I had a lot of fun, met a lot of amazing people there, and that was really where, that was where my life started, really. For the most part, from everything that I remember, I lived in this, not big house, but it was fairly wide. Like, if you looked at it from outside, there was just it was fairly wide. So, it's where I lived. But, I lived in a house, so that's a plus, I guess. So a lot of memories are there, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. So yeah, let's get into it. So my earliest memory, well, my favorite memory from Memphis, Tennessee was when I was playing flag football. I was playing on not a professional team, but I was playing on a uniform team where it was for my school, from where I was. So that's sort of the reason I was playing on there, because I really liked football, but I didn't really like the hurdy part of football. So I played flag football because I learned that you just have to pull someone's flag, you don't have to hit anyone. So that was my favorite part. And my favorite memory from that flag football was when I caught my first ever catch, right? And that didn't come often because, as you know, I'm a big guy, and big guys don't really catch the ball that often. So I was put out to be a wide receiver. So I just went on a straight route, just a fly route, as they call it. So I went out on that fly route, and I caught the ball, as you can hear because it's not called my first drop, it's my first catch. So I catch the ball, right, and I catch it way downfield because it was really far, far for a flag football game. It probably wasn't far compared to actual football, which I actually have played and still do play, but well, not obviously now because of the virus going around. So that was extremely. I should probably take this label off. We don't need anybody getting the wrong ideas. Give me a second. Anyway, So what I did was, I caught it. It wasn't a touchdown catch or anything, but I caught it with like 2 or 3 people around me. I still have the picture saved to this day. My mom actually took. It was either my mom or my dad. I can't remember, but one of my parents took the picture, and I still have it with me to this day. It was actually a really good angle from the picture. It looked like, I just jumped up over everybody, but in actuality, I'm just really tall, so that's why that looks like it does. So yeah, another amazing memory. Well, wouldn't exactly call it amazing, but I've actually touched on this before in that video called "The Time I Technically Said a Curse Word," and this one's funny because if you guys haven't seen the video already, I'll just sort of spell it out for you in a quick fashion. So basically, I'm with my friends at the lunch table talking about what's the worst curse word anyone could say, and I said, and I quote, the B word. And then they were like, oh, what? And then this one kid was like, oh, what's the B word? So I spelled the word. The kid said the word. He got in trouble for like 5 minutes. Then all my friends were like, hey, actually, Trey started this. And I was like, and they were like, okay, well, you can go play. And Trey, you come over here. And there was this parking lot line that you had to like walk down, like up and down. And it wasn't fun because I was seeing all my friends playing soccer and football and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a fun time. It wasn't really a thing where it was just extremely bad. But I did get in like a lot of trouble for it when I got home because my parents are very, very, very against cursing. So it was one of those silent car rides home, which is better than the ones that get you yelled at, which is a bit better. Well, I'd much rather prefer one where I'm getting yelled at as opposed to one where I'm getting not yelled at and it's just complete silence, where you can hear yourself blink and you slowly are just like, well, what's gonna happen next, right? And yeah, that's about it for that memory. Another memory that I had was my first Grizzlies game. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies are my ride or die team. They're not doing too good right now. Well, no team's doing too good because of the virus. But the last time I checked, the Grizzlies weren't doing very good. My boy Marc Gasol was doing really good because he went to the Raptors, and that got me really excited because then he's on a good team. No offense to the Grizzlies because they're my favorite ever, but I'm glad he got traded because he went to the finals and he got himself a ring. And congratulations to him because that's amazing. Honestly, that's awesome. It's not every day when your childhood hero is winning rings for another team, which it was sort of bittersweet because he's winning a ring, but he's winning a ring for a different team, and I love the Raptors as well, but I'm not as big a fan of them as I would be for the Grizzlies, and most of the time, the Grizzlies don't really show up in the playoffs that often. They do sometimes, but they don't really show up that often. They'll show up in like the first round and maybe make it to either the first or second round as like the 7th seed or the 6th seed, and we'll hope that after they barely scraped by in the first round, they'll make it to the second, and then they'll get swept in the second because life's not fair. So why hope that, oh, this is the year they won the ring, and it's not the year that they won the ring, because nothing ever happens in Memphis that's good sports-wise. I mean, another memory was when I was actually at my first Titans game, which was, again, a bit bittersweet because my favorite player ever, Chris Johnson, wasn't there. and so he wasn't there. So that got me really upset. And this is already running a bit long. So if you guys want to see a part 2 to this, remember like this video. By the way, I'm actually wearing a Memphis Grizzlies shirt. My grandma got this for me, so thank you, Grandma. So yeah, my last memory that I'm going to share with you guys, because this one's running a bit long already, is that is when I was at my first ever Titans game, which my favorite player of all time is Chris Johnson, and he wasn't there, which made me pretty upset. But other than that, I was happy because I can't remember who it was, but someone was like throwing their cleats and stuff and their gloves and stuff out into the crowd, and I was in that crowd, and I was like right there. Some like kid jumped up and grabbed it out of my hands. I was right there, like the cleat was like right here, and it just sort of fell in the other kid's lap. But yeah, but that was a pretty decent memory. And I noticed that a lot of my memories are from, they're great memories, but they've always been second best, like, and I'll explain this one in my best memories from Colorado, which is where I currently live. But like, for example, I was in this dodgeball tournament, and my team hadn't won a game. We didn't win a game, but I was always the last one on the team. I was always the one who was like, oh, they got their hope in that guy, right? And I was always, some people would say that, oh, he was standing all the way back to where the ball scientifically curves out of the way, and I would 100% agree with that. But that wasn't the plan. That wasn't what I was thinking that I was going to do, because most of the time, in movies and how they have, oh, the guy who got cut from this team will go to another team, and in the championship they'll beat the team that cut him. And I was very close to doing that, but it's not what happened. So, most of my memories are second best memories, but they're still really good memories. And we shook hands after the game. Everybody came up to me and like, yo, Trey, that was a great game. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. And then in 8th grade, did the same thing, because I'm the greatest dodgeball player of all time. Haven't won, but I'm the greatest dodgeball player of all time. And survived to the end. And then my then crush at the time, I'm not gonna get all into that, she congratulated me on a great game, which I was expecting, because again, greatest dodgeball player of all time. Haven't won, but greatest dodgeball player of all time. And yeah, that is about it for this one. Remember, excuses are monuments to nothingness. Those who use these tools of the incompetent will bridge to absolutely, positively nowhere. Remember, build each other up, don't burn each other down, stay dangerous, and before you say that 5-letter word, a lot of people have been saying, oh, Trey, you say your outro so fast that no one gets the message. So that's why I said it extremely slow. And peace.